Hello gems, in this video we are going to resolve a vector into its perpendicular component. We are also going to discuss components of vector, how to write a vector in its component form, how to find the magnitude of a vector which is given in component form, how to add or subtract to vectors which are given in component form. So basically a lot of things are going to happen, so make sure you sit down with a copy and a pen to make things easier for you. Okay, so this lecture is actually very important when it comes to motion in 2 dimension. So this will simplify all of your problems in motion in 2D, so pay attention. Okay, this is very important chapter. So let's begin with no further talks. Okay, so let's begin with the story today. Okay, the story will give you a basic idea about resolving a vector. What do we mean by resolving a vector? Okay, so the story begins this way, that you have invited your friend, one of your friend, to your house. Okay, that friend doesn't know your exact address, so you have told him about a landmark up to which he will come, and then from that landmark you have to guide that friend to your house. Okay, so from that landmark your house is in the northeast direction at certain angle. Okay, these are the coordinates of your house, 3 comma 4. This is your house, this is your house. Okay, and let's consider this as origin. Okay, so he'll reach the landmark, he'll phone you, and you have to guide him to your house. Now you'll find it as an easy job to do. Okay, this is 3, right? 3, and here it is 4. Okay, so you can find the distance from here, right? Or by using the distance formula. Suppose this is r vector. So basically mod of r, the magnitude of r, you can simply write it as r, will be 5. 3, 4, 5, right? The right angle triangle, that also you can see, or you can apply distance formula here. So let's take it in kilometers. Okay, so he has to walk for 5 kilometers, and there is also an angle, right? You have to specify this angle as well. So let's find tan theta of that angle. So this is the way how you will guide him. Okay, so tan theta of this angle will be 4 by 3, right? Opposite upon opposite is this 4 by 3. Okay, opposite upon adjacent. Okay, but if your friend is not from maths background and you tell him things like this, he will return from that place only. Okay, he'll return home from there if you tell him things like this. 5 kilometers you have to walk. Make sure you maintain an angle such that tan theta of that angle is 4 by 3 north of east. Okay, now he will lose his mind, he'll go back home. So you have to tell it in an easier way, right? So this is where resolution comes into picture. Okay, so what will I do is I will resolve this vector. So I'll break it into 2 parts. First is this, and then this. Okay, now this is 4 kilometers, we know that, and this is 3 kilometers. So instead of telling him the easiest way, the 5 kilometer way, I'll tell him the longer way. Okay, but that is more convenient, right? Because we are all familiar with distances, right? A layman is familiar with distances rather than things like this. Okay, so I'll tell him walk 3 kilometers east from the landmark. Now he'll have compass on his phone, don't be that literal. Okay, so I'll tell him walk 3 kilometers east, turn left, or then walk 4 kilometers north. Okay, what will I say? Walk 3 kilometers east from the landmark, of course, and then if you want to say turn left, or you can directly say then walk 4 kilometers north. Now he's a layman, he'll understand this language of distances, right? Walk 3 kilometers east, he'll walk 3 kilometers east, and 4 kilometers 4 kilometers north, right? This is east, this is north. Okay, so 3 kilometers east, 4 kilometers north, and to your house. And that is easy, right? So we broke this vector, which was this way, right? This way, this r vector was this way. We broke it into 2 parts. Okay, one was this, which is 3 kilometers east, this is 5 kilometers, right? And 4 kilometers north. Okay, just like reversing triangle and parallelogram law, if you can see that, right? When we added two vectors in using triangle and parallelogram law. We did this. A plus B will be R, right? From this to that, right? And now we are going back. Okay, so basically how can we write that R vector now? Okay, now we will write it in the component form. Okay, so how can you write this in a vectorial form, mathematical form, of course? So 3 kilometers is, so we'll say 3 kilometers in the east direction. So I'll use a letter E. I'll tell you what is this E cap. You can recollect it if you have seen all the lectures of the vector series. Okay, 3 kilometers east, 4 kilometers north, 4 kilometers north. Do you know what is this E cap and N cap? Of course, they represent direction east and north, but they are certain special vectors. Remember, can you recollect? They are unit vectors. So this is unit vector along east direction. Okay, and the north cap, as you would have guessed it, is unit vector along north direction. Okay, so we could easily, this is the idea of resolution, right? We can break that vector into two parts now. Okay, so this is a way of simplifying the vector. Okay, just to add about unit vectors now, if you don't know what a unit vector is a vector which has magnitude 1 unit, right? So this east cap, whatever cap, they are represented by cap, right? Instead of a bar, they are represented by a cap, unit vectors. Now all of these unit vectors have magnitude 1 unit. Remember, we talked about this. So they don't, they just show the direction. Okay, just show direction. So they are important from direction point of view. They do not multiply with the magnitude, right? 3 times of E cap doesn't change the magnitude. It's still 3 kilometers in the east direction. It didn't change the magnitude. It just specified the direction, 3 kilometers in east direction. Okay, so that was the idea behind resolving. Okay, I hope you would have got it. So you can note it, not that important, but yeah. So the friend reached your house. That's a good thing. Okay, so let's discuss this in a more general way, right? Okay, now this was just an idea. I hope I'm recording the video. Okay, now let's choose a general view. Okay, general view in which we'll have the 3 axes x, y, z, and will derive certain result which will represent using which we can represent a vector in its component form. Okay, now okay, so this is x, this is x axis, this is y axis, the vertical line, and this is the z axis. Okay, you'll know this. You can picture the corner of your room. Okay, this is one of the corner of your room. The vertical line going towards the ceiling will be the y-axis, the horizontal line will be the x-axis, and the line that's coming towards you or going away from you will be the z-axis. Now similarly, you can picture a point in your room now. Okay, any point of an whatever, you can choose any element yourself also in your room. So suppose we mark something in our room, so that has coordinate x, y, z. What does this x, y, z mean? X means distance on x, right? Whatever is the distance on x, that is x. Okay, x. This is x. Y, the y coordinates means distance on y axis. Distance on y axis, okay, here somewhere, right? And z means the distance on the z axis, okay, 3D, right? Point in space. Okay. If you have hard time visualizing that, let's come here. We'll choose this axis, this line, okay, to be our y-axis. This line is our x-axis, and the line, imagine a line coming towards you from here, will be our z-axis. Okay, now picture a point over here, somewhere here, right? This is the origin, y-axis, x-axis, and z-axis coming towards you. Now picture a point somewhere here, xyz, right? So to reach to that point, what do I have to do? I have to travel all these distances, right? Just like the friend coming to your house, right, has to travel something in the east direction and something in the north direction. Okay, so okay, coming back to our thing, we have the point in space xyz. So I have to reach that point from the origin. So what will I do? Walk x. So I'm under it, but it's in front of me. Okay, so I'll jump for y or fly. Okay, so in y-axis I can travel by flying or jumping. Okay, y, and it's in front of me now, right? I'm in this plane now. Okay, it's in front of me, so walk the distance z. Okay, so can you picture that in order to reach this point, suppose we have a vector from origin. So that's what I did, right? I walked from origin to that point in space, right? How did I do that? Walk the distance in x, jumped for the distance in y, and came forward, right? Came forward, and if I had to jump, then I would have hit that point. Okay, so that's the way how I did it. So can I write it this way? Okay, first we have to describe unit vectors, right? We need unit vectors to write it in the component form. So first let's discuss them, so that I hope that idea is clear now. Okay, walk the distance x, fly the distance y, and move in front the distance z, right, to reach that point xyz. Okay, these are numbers basically. Okay, coming to unit vectors. In the previous case, can you recollect that we had defined unit vectors along east direction and along north direction? So here also we have to do the same thing along x-axis, along y-axis, and along z-axis. Simple job. Okay, so letters used are I cap. Okay, cap, of course, unit vectors. Okay, so I cap is unit vector along x axis. J cap is unit, okay, no writing back, unit vector along y axis. Now don't have issues with the names ijk, right? It's k is unit vector along z axis, not xyz. So anyways, you remember it this way. Most of the books represent them this way, I, j, k. So all of them have magnitude 1, right? I, j, k, right? They are unit vectors. Why should I even say this? Okay, they have magnitude 1 unit, and I is along x-axis, j is along y-axis, and k is along z-axis. Okay, so how to represent this r vector now? In the previous case, you remember it was r was, we said 3 in the east direction and 4, I hope it was the same thing, 4 in the north direction. Okay, in the previous case we used this logic. Now how do we reach xyz in this case? Walk the distance in x along the x-axis, right? Walk the distance in x along the x-axis, of course. So you have to walk the distance x, walk the distance 3 along x-axis. So along east line, along x-axis means I cap. There east meant E cap, right? So now we are walking along the x-axis, so I cap, right? Along the x direction. Okay, unit vector along the x direction, and we have to walk the distance x, of course. Now jump the distance y, right? Now I have to match it in height, so I have to jump the distance y or fly the distance y, so that I have to also account plus yj cap, right? So walk the distance x, jump the distance y, and move in front the distance z. So this is what component form of a vector look like. Okay, so this is a way easy, right? You have to just replace this. How will you write a vector in its component form if you are given if you are shown its diagram this way? Okay, this might be some random points, 3 2 1, suppose. Okay, 3 2 1. So how will you write this vector? Easy, right? R bar is equal to x. X in this case is 3, so 3 I cap plus 2j cap plus k cap or 1k cap, whatever you want to write. Now if they might have a minus sign also, You have to just place them with the sign, just place the coordinates, right? So that is what component of vector is, sorry. So this is 3 I cap minus 2 j cap, just place them with the sign, okay? Place them with the sign and plus k cap, right? So as easy as that. So this is everything about component of a vector. We'll try to get the magnitude first, okay? So you can note this down. This is how you write vector in its component form, okay? Okay, now coming to magnitude, how can you suppose a vector is given in this way, this format. Now tell me its magnitude. How will you do that? How will you do that? Now simply apply distance formula, right? Suppose let's take the general case x, y, and z. Okay. So how will you find the magnitude? Distance formula, right? So let's name the magnitude r. Okay, for simplicity. R will be under root of x2 minus x1. So x, and this point is origin, right? 0 comma 0 comma 0. So can you see the formula? So x2 minus x2 is x2, y2, z2. Okay, x2 minus x1 the whole square, y2 minus y1 the whole square, plus z2 minus z1 the whole square. Okay, this is under root. Doesn't look nice, sir. Z minus 0 the whole square. Okay, sorry for squeezing that. Okay, so what do you get? Under root x square plus y square plus z square. So you have to just add the squares of the coordinates. Simple job. So this is how you get the magnitude. There is another way to derive this. I'll come to that. So what is the magnitude of this vector now? Easy, sir. Easy. I can do that. So 3 square plus 2 square plus 1 square. Even if you want to place them with the sign, it won't make difference because negative squared is positive, right? So 3 square plus 2 square plus 1 square. Okay, so that gives us 9 plus 4 plus 1. So 10 and under root 14. Okay, so this is what I get. So the magnitude of this vector is under root 14. So this is how you represent a vector in component form, and this is the formula for its magnitude. Okay, what about the direction, sir? Right, we are speaking of the vectors, so magnitude and direction. Okay, so mostly you will be asked about its direction from the x-axis, alpha, that angle. So let me define all the angles first. This is beta. Okay, and it will also make an angle with the z-axis. Let's call that gamma. Okay, x, y, alpha, beta, gamma. Alpha is the angle with, do I have to write this again? Angle with x-axis. Beta is the angle with, okay, sorry, angle with y-axis, and gamma, all of these are Greek letters, is the angle with z-axis. Okay, these are all the angles with x, y, z axis. So mostly in most of the cases you will be asked for this alpha. So what will you do? This distance, you know, this is y, right? So this is a square, right? From here, square, no, it's a rectangle. Okay, this is a rectangle with sides y and x, right? This side is y, this side is x, length I am speaking of. Okay, so yeah, so how can you write that? So in most of the cases you will be asked for alpha. Okay, more often than not. Okay, alpha is of significance. Okay, so you'll write tan alpha y by x, opposite upon adjacent, right? Y by x. So you have the direction as well as you have the magnitude. Just a second, the street dogs. Okay, so the dogs have to contribute to every video of mine, as you know. Okay, so coming back, where was I? I said you have direction, you have magnitude, or how to find, you know how to find the direction and the magnitude. If the vector is given in component form, you know how to express the vector in component form. If you are given something, if you are given its coordinate. Okay, so we'll derive this in one more way because I want to tell you something about directional cosines. Okay, just a brief topic. So So we'll derive this in one more way. Okay, you can note this down. This is all you need about component of a vector. Okay, so we'll derive that again. So I'll remove this now. So walk the distance x, fly the distance y, and what was the other thing? Move ahead the distance z. The z thing is not that good. Anyways. Okay, we'll derive that once more, not this, that. Okay, so that requires a bit use of math. So we'll use cos square alpha plus cos square beta. Now alpha, beta, gamma, you remember, right? The angle with x-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively. So we are, sorry, so we are taking the square of their cosines, and this is an identity from math. Okay, remember it from today. Medical student, don't be depressed. Even the math students won't know this unless they have studied vectors from class 12. Okay, so we are on the same page. You just have to remember this identity. At the end of the day, we are going to derive this, which we already know. The only point that I want to make here is these are called cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. These are called directional cosines. Okay, so sometimes you might be asked a direct question on directional cosines, like find the directional cosines if they provide you a vector like this, the same one. I don't remember that. 3, 2, 1 we'll choose. Okay, 3i cap plus 2j cap plus 3k cap. Now they'll directly ask you for cos alpha and all. Okay, cos alpha, which will be x by r. You remember that? Let's draw it again. X, y, this is x, y, z. You know that this is the r vector, and this is alpha, this is beta, this will be gamma, right? So now if you want to find cos alpha, what you'll do, opposite upon adjacent upon hypotenuse, right? So adjacent, if you see for alpha is the angle with the x-axis, so adjacent is this, right? Adjacent is x itself, the distance on the x-axis, which is x itself. So adjacent upon the distance hypotenuse, right? This triangle, if you see, the hypotenuse is the r vector. What is the magnitude of that? We'll choose it to be r. Magnitude r is r. Okay, so x by r. Okay, so sometimes they might directly ask you this. You can simplify this further, right? X upon x square plus y square plus z square, right? So sometimes they might say directly ask you a question on directional cosines to find cos alpha, cos beta. Now similarly, cos beta will be y by r, which is y by r. So in place of r, you can plug in that. Okay, and cos gamma, of course, now you would have got it, z by r, right? Cos beta, if you see, this is y, right? Now this vector, right? This is beta, so this is y by r, right? Y is the adjacent side and r is the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle. So z by r for cos gamma, z by the same thing. So these are the directional cosines. So sometimes you might have a direct question, especially for BitSat and NEET. Okay, see, people don't expect easy things. Okay, now we'll forget this. Now no, you note this down. Okay, in case you have a question on directional cosines. Now we'll erase this for some time, and we have to derive this, right? We started with the purpose of deriving this again, right? So let's do it now. Now that we have this, all of the values, we'll plug these values there. Okay, so cos alpha is x by r, this is whole squared, this is y by r the whole squared plus z by r the whole square, right? And it's equal to 1. I just plugged in the values here. So we get x square plus y square plus z square. You can already see the results upon r square. R square is common in the denominator. So 1, which is equal to 1. Now, where to simplify that? So you can simply see that r square, you can take this on the other side, r square will be x square plus y square plus z square, and r will be under root of x square plus y square plus z square. So this was just another way of doing it. Okay, no new thing, just remember directional cosines and how you get them. Okay, you can note this down as well. This is the way they derive this in reference book. Okay, so let's go to few problems. Although a topic on resolving a vector into its trigonometric components is remaining, it's very interesting. We'll come to that. Just before that, let's test our knowledge by practicing some problems. Okay, so a vector is given in component form. A bar is equal to 6i cap minus 8j cap. So find the magnitude of A. So I am asking this. This is very easy. Okay, you can do it within seconds. Okay, and if you know Pythagoras theorem, 6, 8, 10, right? The answer will be 10. Okay, let's do it. So x square plus y square plus z square, z is 0. Okay, you don't have any coefficient of k cap there. So x square, so 6 square plus this is x, right? And y is minus 8, right? Y is minus 8. So doesn't make any difference, it's squared. So 36 plus 64, and then you have root 100. So that is basically 10, right? Pythagoras theorem, 6, 8, 10. Easy, right? We are splitting it into perpendicular components. So you can, if you are able to see Pythagoras theorem, well and good. Yeah, also plot that vector roughly so that you can develop an understanding about this. So let's say this is y-axis, this is x-axis. Now z-axis we don't need over here, so let's not go into that. X is 6, right? X is 6, we'll choose 6 over here, and y is minus 8. Y is minus 8, right? This is 6i cap plus minus 8j cap. Xi cap plus yj cap. So y is minus 8, and the point will be somewhere over here. So we have to go from origin to this point. Okay, so this is the vector. Okay, this is that vector a bar. You can also find that alpha. Okay, try finding alpha. You can do that. Let's go to problem number 2 now. Okay, illustrative one will have. Okay, we'll learn how to add and subtract two vectors which are given in component form. So a bar is given to be 2i cap plus 2j cap minus 4k cap, and b bar is given to be 6i cap minus 3j cap plus 3k cap. And the thing which is asked, now we have two vectors, so they have asked for subtraction of these two vectors in component form. So I'll teach you that, don't worry. And its magnitude. Okay, so you have to subtract these two vectors in its component form and then find its magnitude. Okay, so after subtracting these two, you'll get a vector, right? Subtracting two vectors, you'll get a vector, and you know to find its magnitude, right? You'll get it in component form, you know to find its magnitude. But the problem is we don't know to subtract in this form. Okay, so I'll teach you that. So it's very simple, right? So a vector minus b vector. So write the a vector 2i cap plus 2j cap plus 2k cap, and then you have minus sign, and b vector 6i cap minus 3j cap plus 3k cap. Now let's open the brackets, or it's the same thing. Okay, so let me just check the problem. Here there is 4, right? Minus 4k cap, and here have minus 6i cap plus 3j cap and minus 3k cap. Okay, I'm just opening the brackets, nothing special. Okay, now what to do? Now comes the trick. Okay, So you have to look for common terms, I cap, right? They are along the same axis, okay? Negative and positive, of course. This is positive along positive axis, and this is negative, right? Minus I cap, if you can see that. So basically they are along the same direction, okay? This or that, they are along the same direction. So basically you can directly add or subtract them. I'm making it reference to the previous lectures, so make sure you check it. The link is in the description. I'll also suggest it over here. So the idea is that all what is like, you can just add or subtract them directly. So 2 I cap minus 6 j cap will be 2 minus 6 and I cap, just like this. 2 minus 6 I cap. So I cap terms you can subtract or add directly. J cap terms you can add or subtract directly. Or it's 2 plus 3, right? And K cap terms, yeah, what's the new thing? You can do that here as well. So I'll say plus, minus 4, minus 3 and K cap. So what is the vector that you get? It's A minus B, which is minus 4 I cap plus 5 J cap minus 7 K cap. And now you have to find the magnitude of this. What is the big deal? I'm sorry. So magnitude of this will be x square plus y square plus z square, which is 4 square 16. I'll directly write it. 5 square 25 and 7 square 49. 49 plus 25 will give us 74. 74 plus 16 90. So under root 90. Okay, I hope that's correct, or 3 root 10. Okay, so that's how you do it. So the basic idea was over here, right? So I cap terms you can subtract or add, J cap terms you can subtract or add, K cap terms you can subtract or add together. Okay, so let's discuss one more on this. You can note that down. This was illustrative example. You learned the algebra of component of vector. So let's choose another vector. In this case, we'll choose I cap, J cap, K cap. So for the sake now, just find A plus B. Okay, for your satisfaction that you have understood this. So just add the things, right? Now we'll do it in one step. So 2 plus 1, nothing is there, which means 1, right? 1 I cap. So 2 plus 1, 3 I cap. 2 plus 1, 3 J cap. Again 3 or what? Yes, minus 3 K cap, right? Minus 4 plus 1, minus 3 J cap. So easy, right? So that was about algebra of that component of vectors. You can how to add two vectors, add or subtract two vectors which are given in component form. Okay, now let's go to the interesting topic, which is resolving a vector into its trigonometric component. Resolving vector using trigonometric components. Okay, I won't write that. So especially we'll do it in 2D. So we are going to use a bit of trigonometry, not very high level. Okay, not rocket sciences and all. Very certain easy language. Okay, basics of trigonometry. Okay, so we are going to do it in 2D. So no need of that z-axis. X and y axis are enough. Now we have that vector. Okay, coordinates x comma y, and this is that vector r. Okay, let's assume that this angle is theta. Okay, if we know this angle, we can decode a lot of things. Okay, you'll realize it now. This is y, right? This is y. Distance on the y-axis is y. Distance on the x-axis is x. I've been repeating this the whole time. Okay, now write sine theta and cos theta in this triangle. This is a right angle triangle. So write sine theta and cos theta, and you'll note an amazing thing. So sine theta, if you see, opposite upon hypotenuse, so y by r. Okay, cos theta is adjacent upon hypotenuse, so x by r. Okay, so now get the values of that. So y is r sine theta and x is r cos theta, right? So might be not that visible, but you can resolve this vector meaning is you can resolve this vector into two vectors, one which is vertical, right, one which is vertical, okay, and has a magnitude r sine theta, okay, and other one which is horizontal, x, having magnitude r cos theta, right? So you can easily break that vector r. Any vector you have, you can break it into its trigonometric component. The vertical will be r sin theta, magnitude times the sin theta. The horizontal will be the magnitude of the vector times cos theta. So you can break any vector into its perpendicular components using trigonometry. So that is amazing, right? So the shortcut to remember is perpendicular side will be sin theta, r sin theta, the magnitude times sin theta, and the horizontal side, this is vertical, right, and this is horizontal, so the horizontal side will be cos theta. Okay, so we'll quickly try a problem on this. It's very interesting, right, and very useful in 2D. Okay, so I'll write the problem down. So you have a force F. So F is a force. Force is a vector. You know it has magnitude. So that force has magnitude 15 newtons. Measure force in newtons, of course. Direction is 37 degrees. Direction is 37 degrees from negative x-axis. Now try to decode this. Try to draw the vector towards positive x-axis, towards positive y-axis. Okay, represent the vector in component form. So use your logic, trigonometric logic, right? You are given this vector, break it, you have that angle, right? Now you can decode it in terms of sine and cos. Okay, so represent f in component form, vector in component form. Okay, so quickly try it. Okay, just one thing I forgot to mention about the triangle 37 degrees. So you are supposed to remember it from today. Okay, from now you remember it 3, 4, 5. Okay, opposite to the smaller angle you have the smaller side 3. Opposite to the bigger angle 53 you have the bigger side, and the right angle triangle is 3, 4, 5. Famous, right? And you have to remember it from today. Okay, this is the most favorite triangle of JEE. Okay, so quickly try that problem. Okay, now I will do it. So you have a vector. So force vector, you have to represent it now in the xy plane. Okay, so this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. So we can use our trigonometry logic and okay, I'll tell you that. But before that, let's draw the vector. Okay, so 37 degrees. So it makes the vector is in the direction 37 degrees from negative x-axis. So this is negative x-axis, right? This direction is negative x-axis. This is positive. This is positive y-axis. This is negative y-axis. Okay, negative x-axis. This direction, right? There are positive numbers. Okay, so 37 degrees from negative x-axis, either this direction or the downward direction. Who knows the question, right? Towards the positive y-axis. Now it says towards the positive y-axis. So the upward or the downward. Which one will you choose? The upward one, right? That one is towards the positive y-axis. This is going towards the negative y-axis. So this is discarded and you draw the vector somewhat like this. Okay, so this is 15 newtons, right? The magnitude is 15 newtons. Now what do you have to do? You have to find f in component form. Okay, f in component form. So what do you need? A vector along I cap and a vector along j cap. So you have to break this vector in two parts, one along I cap and one along j cap. You are given the angle, you know this. So you can use the trigonometry logic, right? So you have to break the vector into one along x and one along y, one along horizontal and one along vertical. So that's very simple. So what will be along the horizontal? Fx, right? Fx. Now draw it according to the triangle law. This, right? The resultant, right? You just break it into two components. The horizontal will be given by f cos 37, right? The horizontal is given by magnitude times cos 37. So magnitude is 15 of that vector, and 37 cos 37, from here you can get it 4 by 5. 5 3s and 3 4s gives you 12 newtons. Okay, you got the magnitude, you know it's the negative x direction. Okay, so you are breaking this 15 newtons into two perpendicular components. One is 12 newtons and other one will be, let's find fy, right? So which is f sine 37, the vertical component. F is 15, sine 37 is sine 37 3 by 5, right? 3 by 5. So 5 3s are 3 3s are 9, right? 9 newtons. Okay, so the y component you can either write it this way, right? Or you can shift it parallelly. Anyways, so you have broken the vector into its now this 9 newton is along positive y-axis and this 12 newton is along negative y-axis. Okay, so you can write the vector right now it's easy to write the vector. You can write it as minus 12 I cap y minus, sir, y minus because it's along negative x-axis. I cap was along positive x-axis, right? Negative, how do you make negative? Flip it, right? Flip it by 180, right? Now you can see this vector is along negative y-axis, right? So minus 12 I cap plus what do you have? 9 j cap, right? In the positive direction. So this is the vector in its component form. Here also the magnitude is given by the squares. Okay, you remember the magnitude of a vector was x square plus y square plus z square, right? Now we don't have z, so even if you want to verify it, you can just add their squares, right? 12 square 144, 9 square is 81, so that gives us 144 plus 81, 5 and 12 and 2 to 5, right? Which is nothing but the square of 15, right? The vector of which they were made. Okay, this vector you had broken it into two parts, 12 and 9, vertical and horizontal components. That is that. Okay, so you have three vectors, a, which is a is 2 I cap plus 3 j cap, b is I cap plus j cap, and c is k cap. Okay, so you have these three vectors. You have to find a minus 2b plus 3c. Okay, and also find the magnitude later. Okay, first you have to you know how to add and subtract two vectors which are given in component form. Yes sir, but how to multiply this now? How to get 2b from b? It's very simple now. Okay, so just if you want to get 2b, you just multiply this by 2. Okay, multiply each of those terms, I cap and j cap, by 2. Okay, so you simply get 2 I cap plus 2 j cap. Now you want 3c, so what will you do? Multiply each term by 3 sir, and this vector. Okay, it has only k cap. Nice, so you get 3k cap. Okay, now algebra, basic algebra, right? So a is 2 I cap plus 3 j cap, b is this, right? So minus 2b, right? This is 2b, so minus 2 I cap. Okay, I'll put the brackets, plus 2j cap, and 3c plus 3c. 3c is 3k cap. Okay, now find the vector. It will be this and this will get cancelled, right? And you will get 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2, this is j cap, right? 3 minus 2 is j cap, 1 j cap, and plus 3 k cap. So this is what you are left with. If you want to go ahead and find the magnitude, you can do so. It will be 1 plus 3 square 9, so under root 10, right? X square plus, this is y square plus z square. X is 0 in this case. So that was so easy, right? So scalar multiplication, basically that was what I wanted to teach you. How do you multiply a scalar to a vector? Just multiply it to each of the terms in the component form. Okay, 2b will be 2 times the b vector, 2 times the each of this term. So 2i cap plus 2j cap. Okay, this will be 3k cap. If I had to multiply 3 3 to this vector a bar, so what will be it? Okay, tell me what is this? Okay, just for practice, 3 so 6 I cap, 3 2s are 6 and 3 3s are 9. Okay, just for practice, you can note this down. Okay, so that's all for today's lecture. I hope you enjoyed it. With this, we finish our discussion on the vector series. I know a little bit part of vector multiplication is remaining, but we don't need for that for motion in 2 dimensions, so we won't be discussing that now. So make sure you watch the entire playlist on vectors before you jump to the lectures on motion in 2 dimensions. I'll see you soon in the next class. Till then, keep enjoying physics.